The late afternoon light pours through the cabin windows, thick and golden. It catches the dust motes, turning them into slow-moving sparks in the still air. Everything here holds its breath. On the braided rug near the hearth, Lady Adele is a study in quiet. She has tucked her nose beneath her tail, curled into a tight cinnamon roll shape, completely surrendered to the warmth of the room. The fire in the hearth is low, casting a steady rhythmic glow against the log walls. You stand in the center of the kitchen, watching the light shift across the floorboard. The cast iron skillet rests on the stove, cold and waiting. A silence hangs in the room, heavy and comfortable, broken only by the occasional pop of a cooling ember. Then, the atmosphere shifts. Lady Adele lifts her head. Her ears perk up, catching a sound that has not yet arrived. She shifts her weight, her eyes tracking your movement as you step toward the counter. The cabin waits for the first move. You reach for the wooden board, and the quiet ritual of the evening begins. You move to the counter with deliberate, practiced steps. The wooden board sits ready. On it lies a fresh salmon fillet, its flesh a deep sunset orange, cool to the touch. Beside it, a small ceramic bowl holds the blend: paprika, garlic, thyme, cayenne, cracked pepper, and salt. You dip a brush into melted butter, the liquid warm and viscous. You coat the salmon, watching the butter glisten as it clings to the surface. The brush bristles drag through the fat, smoothing it into every crevice of the fish. You reach for the spice mixture. With a steady hand, you press the fillet firmly into the bowl. The dry, coarse grains of the spices meet the slick butter. You turn the fish, ensuring the edges are fully covered. The surface transforms completely, shifting from raw orange to a bold, smoky red. You lift the fillet, the weight of it firm in your palm, and set it back onto the board. You wipe your hands clean on a cloth. You place the heavy cast iron skillet over the burner. The flame flares, a blue ring of heat licking the underside of the metal. You stand back, watching the surface. The iron begins to radiate a steady, dry warmth that pushes outward, displacing the cool air. On the floor, Lady Adele has abandoned her spot on the rug. She trots over, her nails clicking softly against the wood. She stops just inches from your heels. Her ears are fully perked, twitching toward the stove. She lifts her head, her nostrils flaring, as she catches the first faint, sharp notes of garlic and paprika drifting from the counter. She does not look away from you. Her eyes track every slight movement of your hands, her gaze locked with a focused intensity. The cabin feels smaller now, the space compressed by the growing aroma and the shared focus on the stove. You reach for the spatula, the metal handle cool against your palm. Everything is poised. The skillet reaches the perfect temperature. You lift the salmon and lower it into the center of the skillet. The moment the flesh touches the iron, the kitchen erupts. A sharp, rhythmic hiss tears through the silence, loud and aggressive. Steam curls upward instantly, carrying the heavy, savory scent of searing spices directly into the rafters. You watch as the butter bubbles around the edges, turning from pale yellow to a deep toasted brown. The heat is intense, radiating outward from the stove. Lady Adele reacts to the sound, her front legs stretching out as she trots closer to your feet. She settles down, resting her chin firmly on your shoe, her tail giving a single soft thump against the floorboards. You do not move your eyes from the pan. The crust is hardening. the paprika and cayenne darkening into a deep smoky red. A thin grey ribbon of smoke rises, twisting toward the ceiling. With a steady flick of the wrist, you slide the spatula beneath the fish and flip it. The underside is charred, a dark textured crust. You slide the salmon onto a ceramic plate. The steam rises in thin, translucent curls. You set the dish on the wooden table. The cabin grows quiet as the pan cools on the stove. You pull out a chair, the wood scraping against the floor, and sit. The spices are crusted, the air heavy with the scent of the finished meal. Lady Adele rests her head on your knee, her gaze fixed on the plate. You pick up your fork, the metal clinking against the ceramic, and take the first bite. The heat of the cayenne hits your tongue, balanced by the richness of the butter. Outside, the sun dips below the tree line, leaving the cabin in a soft amber glow. You reach down to scratch behind Adele's ears. She leans into your hand and closes her eyes. The day concludes in the steady rhythmic warmth of the kitchen.